Hello. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to the Love Yourself podcast. I'm just going to give it a few seconds before we start. I'm going to give it a little minute and allow everyone to enter the room. Hopefully, everyone is coming through with just a positive attitude, an open mind, an open heart. So let's get started. Hello and welcome back to the Love Yourself podcast. This is a platform where we talk about all things self-love because that's what dreams are made of, and we are all about realizing our dreams. All right. I am your host, Life, and I'm so grateful to be back on the path with you guys and here for another episode dedicated to self-love, growth, and becoming the best version of ourselves. All right, last episode, we talked about boundaries, how setting them is a blessing and an ultimate act of self love. But here's the thing, boundaries aren't just for other people. Sometimes we have to set boundaries for ourselves. Yes, you heard it here first. I appreciate everyone being here. Thank you so much for coming through, clicking the like button, sharing the live, whether you are on Spotify, watching and listening, or you are here with us recording live on YouTube. I do want to invite you to go to the other platform. If you're not on Spotify following us, go ahead over there and hit the follow button as well. And then come on back over here to YouTube as well, where we record these live every other Thursday. So we are talking about inner conversations today, and think about it. How often do you let negative self-talk run wild in your mind? How often do you say things to yourself that you would never say to a friend? Now, let's unpack that a bit because that is something that we've talked about several times here on the channel, where we actually need to talk to ourselves and treat ourselves like a friend. It's so important that we do that. We treat ourselves with love, we treat ourselves with respect, right? And adoration. Because how would you treat a friend if a friend was going through something or didn't quite do something correctly? Would you beat them down? No, you would definitely not beat them down. You would show them love. You would show them support. And it's so important that we do that for ourselves, all right? So just like we say no to others when they cross our boundaries, we need to learn to say no when we start speaking negatively to ourselves, when we treat ourselves like we're not a friend, like we're not someone that we love. All right. And again, this is all tying together. This is all about self-love. Thank you so much for the super chat, babe. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming through. And to anyone else who is in here, thank you. I appreciate you being here as well. Make sure you hit that like button, again, whether you are on Spotify or YouTube. All right, so today we are talking about inner conversations, and we're diving deep into it. We're talking about the way we speak to ourselves, how we can shift from self-criticism to self-compassion, how we can lean more towards grace when it comes to ourselves. All right, because the words we tell ourselves every day, and I'm not talking about just verbally, the things that you think about yourself as well. These things shape our reality. Now we're going to sit there for a minute because this is the reality of how this universe works. Science has proven it. All the studies have shown. People with a positive outlook, a I can attitude, these are the people who find success. You can use Oprah Winfrey as a great example. She was one person that she had to see her parents and her grandparents slaving away Okay, she had to see her grandmother as a slave. And I'm not going to say she was a slave. She was a maid. Okay, that's what they ended up calling it in that time. But it's all the same to me. Okay, she was someone else's maid. She was very poor. Oprah Winfrey didn't even have shoes the first 5 years of her life. She never owned a pair of shoes. But when her grandmother said, "Pay attention, I'm hanging these clothes up on the line, pay attention because you're going to have to do this one day." She told herself at about 6 years old, "No, I'm not. I'm not going to have to do that." And she doesn't, right? And so it's all about how we perceive ourselves. So let's talk more about what inner conversations are as everyone makes their way into the room. Thank you guys so much for being here. All right. So self talk or inner conversations are just mostly their thoughts. We're not sitting around talking out loud to ourselves a lot of times, but these things that are running in the back of our mind on autopilot. The way we speak to ourselves in our mind, the conversations we have with others or about other people in our minds. This is what inner conversation is. The inner voice, it's either motivating you, it's telling you you can do something, it's telling you you can have something, it's painting a situation as positive for your outcome, or it's limiting you by telling you something is not possible. It's telling you you can't have it. For example, when you think of your desire, the things that you want in your life, is that inner voice saying to you, does it feel like you can have it? Does it feel positive when you think about your desires? Or is that little voice saying to you, no, it's not possible for you? Whichever way this is leaning, that is how your current beliefs are set up around that thing. Okay, so again, we're talking about awareness. We're talking about becoming self aware. And it's so super important when it comes to our reality creation. That's all we're talking about here is creating a life that we love. All right. And so our self talk, whether it be good or bad, it can affect our self esteem, our confidence, and our actions. Positive self talk is going to boost our confidence, right? It's going to encourage us towards positive actions, while negative self talk can erode your self esteem. It can demolish someone's self esteem and create self doubt. All right, that's going to hinder your ability to take action effectively. And that's the opposite of what we want when we're creating a life that we love. Thank you guys so much for coming through. I appreciate you guys so much. Sweet Juicy's in the building. Thank you guys so much for coming through. Much appreciated. So again, you guys, we are talking about that ability to take action effectively, and essentially the way we talk to ourselves or the things we think about ourselves, that shapes how we perceive ourselves. All right. Or maybe it's not shaping it. It is a clear indication of how we currently perceive ourselves. And that's strong. That's deep, because that is going to indicate how you're going to interact with the world. All right. If you perceive yourself truly down to the core, if you perceive yourself as a winner, as someone who is thriving, someone who is growing, continuous growth, someone who's healthy, wealthy, generous. If you see yourself as this way, those are the things that you will be. And that's the way you will act, no matter what your circumstances say. All right. This is how inner conversations, this is how that self-talk actually works. It is mostly subconscious. All right. Welcome in, everyone. Make sure that you hit the like button. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys as we dive deep into this conversation about inner conversations. And we're transforming the way that we are conversing with ourselves, the things that we think and feel about ourselves. So thank you for being on this journey with me. Again, don't forget to hit the like button and share it if you feel led to, okay? So we talked about the fact that there is a difference between constructive self-reflection, which is fine. That's something that we need. That's something healthy for us. All right. But then there's something called destructive self criticism. And I myself have suffered from this so much. And that is something, that's why it's such an early topic in this podcast, because this is something that not only have I worked hard on, but I'm still working at on a daily basis. This is not something that is a set it and forget it. This is a lifestyle change. All right. So constructive self-reflection is a healthy practice of examining your thoughts, your actions, and behaviors with the goal of improvement. All right. That's altogether different. While destructive self-criticism is a harsh, negative judgment of yourself. It can damage self-esteem and, even worse, damage your mental health. All right. And that is mainly what we're talking about, our mental health. So to distinguish your inner critic from your higher self, because that's what it's called in most cases, your inner critic, because it is constantly criticizing you. And a lot of people say that it is the ego mind that is the critic, right? So how do you decipher one from the other, your higher self from this critic? You listen for the tone and the content of the voice. What is the voice saying? All right. Normally it's our own voice we're hearing. Sometimes it may not be. Your inner critic tends to be harsh, though, very judgmental, right? And focused on negativity, while your higher self is going to speak with a more gentle and supportive tone. Right? So this is how you tell. And again, this leads back to self-awareness. And we end up bringing this up almost every episode, and definitely have throughout this content, throughout the videos on this page. We talk a lot about meditation, becoming self-aware, becoming so connected to the God within you, to where when God is speaking through your thoughts and feelings, you are listening, you're able to discern the difference between a critic and your higher self. That has all to do with awareness, you guys. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate everyone just hanging out and hitting that like button for us. Okay. Thank you so much. And if you've shared it out, blessings to you. And I appreciate any gifts as well. You guys are awesome. So we're talking about distinguishing, right? And how one is gentle, one is love, one is kindness, one is about growing, right? One is about supporting you. And then that other one is negative, harsh, rude, downright mean. Okay, some of us have a downright mean inner critic where we talk bad about ourselves, really bad. We say words we wouldn't say to anyone. We say them to ourselves. Not good. Not good for growth. Okay, where that critic is going to feel restrictive. That's a restriction versus expansive, where the higher self is promoting freedom and possibility. And the thing about this is, most of these conversations, these inner conversations, they come up subconsciously. And that's the thing we have to understand as well. This is a subconscious act. You know, 90% of our thoughts are subconscious, where they are just flowing in with ease. You're not putting that's not a conscious thought. But it runs 90% of the ways, the things that we do, the way that we show up to the world. All right. And then there's 10% that is conscious. These are the things that we're conscious, we're choosing to do. But we have to realize that 90% is the biggest part, and that is what we're focusing on. Just like we set boundaries with those toxic people. We talked about that last episode. If you guys missed last episode, I encourage you to go back and get caught up with us. The very first episode was about prioritizing how you look. Last episode, episode 2, was about boundaries. And how we setting them, we're setting them and we're sticking to them. And I hope you guys did your the week of saying no without feeling guilty, without guilt. All right. So we have to set boundaries though with our own negative thoughts. So I want you guys to help me participate down in the comments. I want you to give me some examples of ways that you can set internal boundaries. And I'm going to go ahead and see what we've been talking about in the chat here, and see what you guys are talking about. But I'm going to give you an example first. We're talking about examples of setting internal boundaries with ourselves to promote a positive inner conversation. So things like, I will not allow myself to call myself stupid. A simple boundary, right? That's very simple. I will not allow myself to call myself stupid. And I know I'm not the only one that has done that. That was so stupid, or you're so stupid. Talking to myself, like, what? Thank you guys so much for coming through. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much, babe. Everybody's coming through. Thank you for being here. I want to see those examples. Yes, you already know how it go. Loving the all blue, my girl Sweet said. Keeping that energy uplifting, fam. Ain't no room for tearing yourself down when you're built to shine. Level up, learn, and love yourself through it all. Growth over guilt always. Yes. My family is in here teaching tonight. Big ups to you guys. Building healthy relationships is in the building. The word is here. Thank you so much, you guys. So I want to see those examples. I really want you guys to help participate down in the comments. I want to see the examples of what you guys could, some example phrases or just some boundaries you could set with yourself when it comes to your inner self-talk. My big sis is here. Thank you so much for coming through, sis. I gave you guys one. I will not, and that's a simple one, but it's so powerful because I myself have been guilty of calling myself stupid or just indicating that I was stupid or that was dumb, thinking that I'm incapable, Another one is I will stop myself. Now, this is a big one, okay? This is a big one. I will stop myself when I start spiraling into a negative self-talk. I will stop myself. So that indicates what? We're talking about this constantly. Awareness. That's why I suggest meditation and really spending some time observing your thoughts and figuring out what kind of thoughts you're having. A lot of us, we're in that 90%. We're in our subconscious mind. Those thoughts are just flowing and going, and we're so used to them, right? We're complacent. We're used to them. So when they come in, it doesn't seem like a big alarm, but it is. This is how you limit your self-love, which limits the dreams that can come true for you. And I can't say for you, I'm speaking for me, but this is my podcast. So but yes, that is another one. I will stop myself. That means that I'm aware. That means that I hear myself. All right. And when you do that, I promise you guys, you are showing yourself ultimate self-love. When you're able to stop yourself, that means you heard yourself, which is an indication that you are loving yourself. I love that so much. But yes, when we start spiraling into that negative self-talk, I will stop myself. I will replace, all right, after I've stopped myself, I will replace self-criticism with self-encouragement. Now, this has been a big one for me. I have been able to stop myself from doing that spiral, okay? And I'm able to back that up. Like one thing I'll say, like when I'm at work, you guys will get used to me talking about work when it comes to some of this stuff. I'm at work, I don't want to be there, or I'm tired or whatever and whatnot. I will tell myself, Lord, you know my heart. And that just it puts me at so much ease because I know that God knows my heart. I know that things are always working say, Lord, you know my heart, it messages. I say, Lord, you know my heart. Okay, subconscious, you know what I need. You know I need some positive affirmations. I need some positivity real quick. Okay. So let's see what Sweets is talking about. Well, those times when I say something that speaks against myself, I just say quickly that I cancel that assignment ASAP, because when we put it out, we can start to believe it's true, and that is powerful. That's exactly what I'm looking for, because again, what does she say? We start to believe that it's true. It's not true, right? It's only true if you give it power to be true. But you've convinced yourself, now you've started to believe that it's true. So she's saying, I cancel that assignment. And I love that. Thanks for sharing that. I cancel that. I will not allow anyone or anything to keep me. This is Babe talking. I will not allow anyone or anything to keep me from working hard, getting money, and living lovely by keeping a strong mindset and staying focused through positivity and prosperity. Yes. Yes. Through positivity and prosperity. Because, and there's nothing wrong with recognizing that you got it together, that you are positive, that you are, you're getting money and you're living lovely. Okay, there's nothing wrong with prioritizing that or being focused on that, because that gives you another reason to say, look what I did. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay. I love that. I never speak on anything I don't desire. So even if I think of things I don't want, I look at the flip side, so I focus on what I do want. And that is exactly what we're talking about. That is exactly what we're talking about. These types, what are you speaking on? Are you talking about things that you want? Because again, like we said earlier, the words that we say to ourselves every day, they create our reality. And that's all I'm on this channel for the years that I've been on this channel sharing with you guys. That is all I've been saying over and over and over. That's all we talk about. It's the fact that we are creating our reality. All right. We are masters at manifestation. And we are doing it on purpose, with intention. All right. Stopping yourself is key. I always say, care about how you feel. That way you can change that momentum if it's not desired. That's what the word is saying. He giving us a word today. Okay. Stopping yourself is key. And it is all about how you feel, because we all know the feeling is the secret. What you feel is what manifests. That's why all these things tie together. Everything we talk about in every single episode, it all is tying together. So thank you guys so much for participating in that and giving us some really, really powerful boundaries we can set, some things we can say or not do. Like it all helps so much. So I appreciate you guys just taking part in that. Because there's power in having discipline with your thoughts. There's power in that. And that's why we talk so much about meditation. So you can learn to say no to negativity and yes to self-love. Okay? So let's talk about reframing some of that negative self-talk. All right? We want to identify common negative thoughts and rewrite them. So we talked about that. We mentioned that earlier, that we kind of will catch ourselves saying some stuff we know we're not supposed to be saying. Like, for a fact that is not loving. That's not kind. But again, because we're meditating, we're self-aware, we can hear ourselves thinking this or saying this, and we think, no, wait. We stop ourselves mid-thought. Like, no, that's not what I want to attract into my life. Hold on. And I can't tell you how many times I've had to catch myself and say that exact thing. Wait, that's not what I want. Why am I thinking so much about that? Why am I putting, and I don't know about y'all, but I will act out a whole scenario of the wrong thing, something something I don't want to happen. And this is how most human minds work. You guys can admit it if you want to or not. But this is how the human mind works. We will go into a whole scenario where we're visualizing. We talk a lot about visualization here, where we're visualizing this whole negative scenario. This is what inner conversations is about. This is what that inner voice, that self talk is all about. This is how it creates. It's powerful. All right. And so we want to start recognizing when you say those negative things to yourself, come up with a phrase or two that you can have as a go-to. I already shared one of mine with you guys. Another one is a song. I say, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'll just sing it to myself. When I'm starting to feel ungrateful or I'm upset, something just pissed me off, right? Or someone said something that just like irritated me and I noticed it, I'll just start to sing that song because I am grateful. I can think of so many things that I'm grateful for in my life. But while my mind tried to go and talk about whatever just happened, whatever circumstance just popped up, I sing that song to remind myself that I am grateful. And music is healing. It's so therapeutic. So that's another thing that I do. All right. And building healthy relationships says when I'm in negativity, I flip the script real quick. I remind myself who I am, play my hype music, and speak life over myself. I also step back, breathe, and move with purpose, not fear. Yes. 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 I love it. I love it. And that's what you have to realize, that there are times when we're walking in fear. There's a lot of times when we're anticipating something negative happening. Ain't nothing even happened yet. Okay? Nothing even went wrong, nothing happened, right? But we have to walk forward with purpose. We have to remind ourselves, like Rochelle, I'm pretty sure it's Rochelle. Am I sure? I don't know. But like building healthy relationships is saying, you speak life over that situation immediately. You realize it immediately. Immediately. Okay? And then the words coming back saying facts influence creates thoughts create actions, but when the influence comes, wait, I'm sorry, I can't read, but where the influence comes from is emotion. So the way we feel a lot of times will determine how we think. It's a cycle. That reminds me of something we talk about often. The word is bringing up, well, another person that always brings that up or talks about that is Dr. Joe Dispenza. That thought feeling loop that we keep talking about. What you think is going to make you feel a certain way. What you feel is going to, again, reinforce those thoughts. And then you're going to have another thought just like it. And it's going to happen again and again. That continues on unless you break the cycle. Unless you jump in and say, wait, no. I know I'm feeling like this right now, but I'm grateful. Or I have this thing I can be happy about. Or I know this situation is working out in my favor. It might not look like it, but this is working out in my favor. All right. It's so hard. No, I can be upset. I can, and and it's good to have balance. You don't want to be Miss Happy Go Lucky all the time. You just have to have balance. Frugal Mama's in the building. Greetings, everyone. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Auntie Styles is in the building. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I appreciate the shares, the love, the likes, and the interaction. I really, 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 really do. All right. So we're still talking about reframing that negative self talk. We just talked about the fact that there are some ways that you can just change the things or stop yourself, say something different, move in a different way. Those things are going to save you on the occasion where your thoughts are negative. Because if you are if you're anything like me, you're a human being. 9 times out of 10 you're going to have negative thoughts. The point is cutting it at the root and saying no to it, putting up that boundary. All right. So the power of affirmations and replacing those toxic thoughts with positive ones, according to Dr. Barbara Fredrickson, she's a positivity research. You should experience 3 positive experiences for every negative. So this is known as her 3-to-1 positivity ratio. And that can be a powerful tool when you have yourself or you find yourself having a negative thought. Replace it with 3 purposeful positive thoughts right there in that moment. All right. And then develop a self-compassion practice. I want you guys to really think about this and go forward when you're leaving this podcast. Go forward in the rest of your life, okay? And be kinder to yourself. Treat yourself like a friend. Treat yourself like someone you love. Give yourself grace. All right? I used to beat myself up so bad. So bad. And I can tell you I still will fall into that negativity at times. And I catch myself and I have to start all over again. So don't feel like this is not a conversation for people who got it all figured out. This is not because we know the right words to say and we're all in here vibing. We kind of know. We know we're talking about the same thing. This is not just for the people who think they know. This is every day. This is a lifestyle. All right. This is not us telling the people who don't know. This is everybody growing together, everybody learning together and sharing these ideals. This is what makes us stronger, right? This is what makes us, oh, I got a different idea from building healthy relationships. Oh, the word says something that really stuck with me. So this is what we're building here. And so remember that when you leave this podcast, you be kinder to yourself. So I want you to share again, if you care to, what's one negative thing that you say to yourself that you are ready to stop? We're not just going to say we're doing this for a week. This is lifetime. This is a lifestyle change. Okay. But let's just say for a few days to a week, what are you going to be more aware of when you say this thing to yourself? What are you going to be more aware of? What is that? What is that one negative thing? And challenge yourself. Every time you catch yourself in a negative self-talk, pause and replace it with something loving. Replace that with something loving. You deserve it. You absolutely deserve to love yourself. And that's all this whole podcast is all about. So let's recap and then we'll just hang out a bit and chit chat this up. So we talked today in this episode, we talked about inner conversations, how to shape our self-worth, how inner conversations shape our self-worth and our reality. All right. We set some internal boundaries tonight, and I really hope that you guys are if you're not taking this seriously, okay? If you're not, I want you to get on the bandwagon, take it seriously, because self-talk, if it's negative, it will create a negative circumstance in your life. Undoubtedly, that's how this universe works. Okay, so we're just helping us stay strong in our positivity. We have the power to reframe our thoughts. Okay, we've talked a lot about neurogenesis. We talked about how how brain cells can reform and rewire themselves. We talk a lot about these things here, and I want you guys to know that you are the one that does it. This is not something like a doctor goes and does it for you. This is something you do from the inside out. All right. And it starts with things like positive self talk, those positive inner conversations that are going to grow, that are going to nurture you. You can get inspiration from others. It's okay to get a positive vibe from BDB. You know, when you go into his stream, he's going to lift you up. All right. Auntie Styles, she does an amazing job at giving us motivation and things on her channel. She can help out, but you are the creator of your reality. All right. You are going to be the one that can rewire and refire those brain cells. No one else. No one else. No one can. Not that we wouldn't. We just can't. Okay, so this is why we're having these conversations. This is why we're digging deep and having these honest and open conversations about how to love ourselves more openly, more freely, because a lot of times we're seen as too arrogant if we love ourselves, too cocky, self-absorbed. There are all these words for it, right? But we're talking about balance. We're talking about loving ourselves and others unequivocally, like unconditionally. Okay, so next week we are going to be talking about breaking free from comparison, how to stop measuring yourself against other people. Okay, because this is another thing that can keep us stagnant. Thank you so much. Let's see what you guys are talking about in the chat. Thank you so much, sweets. So Auntie Styles is saying the words you speak are powerful. You have what you say, so only speak what you want, not what you don't want. Because again, those are the things that are going to create. So let's just briefly go over this. Well, because this is something key. This should have made it to the top of the outline actually. The thing about this is, okay, your subconscious mind is what creates. That's what is gonna, we talked about the fact that your subconscious mind is what governs what you do all day, who you are all week, what you accomplish all month long. Okay, that is what is encouraging you and motivating you to take those actions. Now, if you are just daydreaming about positivity, money, vacations, great health, exercising all day, eating healthy all night, whatever is deemed to be positive in your world, these are the things, even if you're imagining it, these are the things that will come to you because your inner conversations and your thoughts create. So equally, if you are talking about how, oh, I'm broke, I ain't got it, oh, I can't afford that, oh, she's better than me, oh, he's got his degree, he's above me. If you are thinking these things and feeling this way throughout your day, you're going to get evidence of that. All right, so that's what Auntie Styles is talking about when she's saying speak about what you want and not what you don't want. That's the same thing the word was saying earlier. He's not speaking on things that he doesn't desire, because the thing is, the desire itself is proof that you have it. But when you start thinking it away, you push it away from you in this reality. Child, we all have those moments. Surround yourself with good vibes, real ones who lift you up, and content like this to keep your spirit right. It's cool to feel down. Just don't unpack and live there. Yes. Don't get complacent with it. Don't stay there. And that's what we're talking about, balance. Let yourself chill. Like, hey, I'm not feeling it today, and that's okay. This too shall pass. I know things are working out in my favor. Lord, you know my heart. I know that I'm grateful. I can walk, I have eyesight. You start to really get into that rhythm of a positive inner conversation when you allow yourself to step back and say, wait a minute, that's not what I want to manifest into my life. That's not what I want more of. Okay. Even if you're saying, well, life, this situation just is what it is. I didn't call for it, it came. All right. And we can talk about that in another episode, whether that's even possible. But let's say that this circumstance right here, life, this is what I get a lot. Look, well, can you see around it? Can you expect, because imagination leads to creation, right? Your expectation leads to creation. So can you see around that obstacle and still speak kindly and lovingly and motivating to yourself? The words you speak are powerful. Oh, I already read that. They still are powerful though. All right. Thank you guys so much. Slim is in the house. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate everyone coming through. Auntie Styles said, speaking positive about yourself will build self-confidence. Your mind only obeys what you tell it. I am smart. I am amazing. I am worthy. Yes, I am worthy is such a powerful, powerful affirmation, because a lot of times I think that a lot of us think that we have to do something to be worthy. No, you are worthy just as you are. You don't have to be a certain race, a certain creed, a certain height, a certain weight. You don't have to be a specific anything. You exist and you are worthy of all the things you desire. And you already have them. If you just feel around for them, they're there. Okay? They are there. Thank you so much. Let's see. Slim is saying the minute you get into a woe is me mode, you got to shake out of it and push forward with positive vibes. Indeed. Absolutely. Indeed. And so I'm super grateful. I am going to invite you all to the next episode. Let me grab the link for you guys, because I want you guys to be able to head on over there and click the link into that. I'm about to put it in the chat right now. I want you guys to head on over there as we close out. I want you guys to head on over there. That is the link for the next episode, which is the power of solitude. We're embracing alone time without feeling alone. Which is, I think, is major for a lot of us, because a lot of us, we just cannot fathom the thought of being alone, whether it be just for a little while or just in, maybe we're not in a romantic relationship or we're empty nesters. We just cannot figure out how to be alone without feeling lonely. And again, this is all tying in to self-love and adoration, right? And just the power of solitude. We're going to get into that. And I hope that you all will meet me there by clicking that link and, and making sure that you hit the like button there and share that out, and meet us here next week. In 2 weeks, okay? Because we're doing this every 2 weeks, and that is whether you are on Spotify looking and listening, or you are here on YouTube. I want you to know that you can meet us there in 2 weeks, where if you're on Spotify, come on over to the YouTube channel, because we actually record these live on the YouTube channel every 2 weeks, where you guys kind of just get the posts after. So if you want to be involved in the conversation, come on over to YouTube. You are welcome. The Journey Gang will welcome you with open arms. Okay, we really do welcome everybody, and we're just a community of ever growing people that we absolutely love. Let's see. I don't want to miss any comments here. 5 years ago today, I almost died, and I have to speak positivity back into my life and move forward and get my health in order. Absolutely. That is real, and that's all the more reason, why Slim does his daily vlog that he does, where he talks about his challenges with not just his challenges. He talks about his challenges, but he also talks about his triumphs when it comes to him dealing with diabetes. So if you didn't know, now you know. And I want to just thank you guys all again for being here, clicking that like button, participating, the super chats, all of it. I really do appreciate you guys. And I want you guys to have a great rest of your night. And remember to all week long, we're going to meet you back here in 2 weeks, but all week long at least, I want you guys to catch yourself on that negative self-talk and replace those thoughts and feelings with some positivity, some positive affirmations. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks, okay, where we are going to be talking about the power of solitude. That one is already scheduled for March 13th. All right, thank you guys so much again, and I will see you guys next time.